In the world of the Mai Tai, there are passionate discussions and arguments about the best Mai Tai recipe. Is it the original from Trader Vic? Is it the Smuggler's Cove, the ultimate Mai Tai? Maybe it's Jeff the Beach Bum Berries. Maybe you at home have your own recipe to rival all of those, but very little attention is paid to the worst Mai Tai of all time until today. Because today, we're gonna find out if this really is the worst Mai Tai recipe. This recipe landed on my lap a while back as I was venturing into the entire month of Mai Tais, and I sent the list of the Mai Tais I was gonna make to Kevin Crossman at ultimatemaitai.com to see if there were any glaring omissions. A recipe that came up was from the Bali High, and that's for many reasons. It's famous, it's divisive, and it may not contain any lime juice. While some like it, it's also an ironic Mai Tai to make, and I ended up not making it. I just couldn't actually bring myself around to making it. But it prompted me to ask the question, what's the worst Mai Tai? I was quickly sent a picture of this book with this image and this recipe. The recipe comes from The Cocktail Book by Michael Walker, and the recipe strays from the Trader Vic original because of a few extra ingredients like bitters, orange juice, grenadine, apricot brandy, and of course, tequila. When Kevin sent me this recipe, I literally laughed out loud and knew we had to make it. The book does also have a bold claim and says, there are several different versions of the Mai Tai, but this seems to be the most popular with bartenders and patrons alike. Now here's a recipe for this drink, and I'll share this on the screen right now. But I will be doubling this recipe to serve 2 people. 1 ounce of dark rum, 2 ounces of light rum, 1 ounce of tequila, 1 ounce of a triple sec, 2 ounces of an apricot brandy or liqueur, 2 ounces of orange juice, half an ounce of orgeat, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and 4 dashes of grenadine. Now we're gonna put all these ingredients into a blender with some ice and blend it until smooth. We're gonna decorate it with slices of orange, lime, lemon, and pineapple, and a maraschino cherry, and an umbrella. All right, the recipe came to me from Kevin Crossman, who was here to experience what could be possibly the worst Mai Tai ever. So we're gonna taste it now and tell you how it goes. So Kevin, thank you for coming. Cheers. Thank you for the recipe.
Thanks for having me back, maybe. We'll see.
Oh, wow.
The good news is that the tequila isn't too heavy,
It's not too heavy.
but it is definitely present. And
I love that apricot liqueur. You can definitely taste it. Definitely tastes like apricot. I don't think I have much to say. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm tasting.
I'm not even getting the apricot.
I don't even, what is it?
It's very diluted.
It is very diluted. Let's open it up.
So this is a book from 1980, so it's, the perfect example of how things devolved in the 1970s.
Kevin, explain yourself. for owning this book. But you haven't made this before, right?
No, I'm glad to have you. Glad to be over here because there's so much involved with the garnish, with all the different ingredients. And I can't imagine any bartender who would prefer to make this with $8 worth of garnish on the rim and everything that you're not even using compared to a Trader Vic's Mai Tai with 5 ingredients, right? So I found this at an antique store and I knew I had to have it. And thankfully came up in a good occasion.
So when you found it at this store, antique store, did you just pick it up and look through the glossary? Did you like thumb through the whole thing and did you know you were looking for this, or how'd you find it?
Every cocktail book I look at, first thing I do is look for the Mai Tai, and this was a notable example, I think. Never seen a Mai Tai that looks quite like this, and so I knew I had to have the recipe to make it someday, and I'll pass it on to you, and I'm glad you were able to make it. You know, it's not bad as a resort kind of drink. There's certainly enough going on in there. I think we even add a little extra grenadine to this.
We did.
And it's not quite as red as what's shown in the photo, but I don't know that you need any more.
Yeah, I don't think you need more. We added some more grenadine because it was too pink. It's still pink. The glass is pretty frosty, but yeah, it's and also we added more ice. Instead of adding more ice and blending it to dilute it, just the nugget or crushed ice on the top just to add volume to the glassware. Overall, I would say that this is the worst Mai Tai I've ever had.
It's right up there. I think you almost look at this as a cross between if a Mai Tai and a Tequila Sunrise had a baby, this would be the drink.
Yeah, very 80s, yes. All right, so there it is. Quite possibly the worst Mai Tai ever. If you have a recipe that you think is worse than this one, just don't even tell me about it. I promise you I will not make it. This is going to be one and done, the worst Mai Tai ever. Obviously, taste is preference, but it's as far of a Mai Tai that I can remember having. So thank you to Kevin for coming and bringing the book and the recipe. I'm Derek, this is Make and Drink. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like below, consider subscribing to the channel, check out the Patreon, and otherwise see you on the next one.